Hey, this is Dan Blewett. Today we're going to talk about three exercises with the Indian Club that we're using as part of my Warbird Academy warm-up. All right, so we have about 20 exercises that we do in our 10-minute comprehensive warm-up, half of which, well, about two-thirds of which is for the throwing arm, one-third is for the entire body to get core temperature up, and then some mobility work. But today we're just going to focus on three exercises. This is a 1 kilogram Indian Club. I got this from Oats Specialties online. Really nice company. The guy Robert Oates backs his products very fast. I mean, I really appreciate working with good businessmen like him. So anyway, this thing weighs a kilogram, 2.2 pounds for you English people, myself included. What we're using these for is shoulder mobility, warmth, and some a little bit of movement pattern reinforcement. So the first one that I use, we're calling the Gait Swing. I learned this from my trainer, Liz Laird, Liz Lemon, quote unquote. Um, I call these Gait Swings. I don't know what the actual terms for some of these exercises are. I didn't make any of these up. Well, I might have made one of them up. I don't know. Again, I don't know. So if you've been using this for a while and you coined a term for it, I apologize for me. Or I apologize to you. Write me an email. I'll write a little blurb about giving you credit for it. Because I don't make up a lot of this stuff in the strength training world. I'm just stealing it from everyone else who's been doing it longer and is smarter than I. So anyway, I'm calling this the Gait Swing. It might be called something else. Regardless, this is what we're using. We're starting. I'm still 10 weeks post Tommy John, so I'm going to be demonstrating all my left arm. We're going to start here with the Gait Swing squeezed in with the bicep. First movement is up by the ear. Then we externally rotate, extend the arm out into a Y position. Notice my wrist is firm. We don't like it, the Harry Potter wand. We want it straight up at 90 degrees. Then we're going to swoop down along the body, right along the shirt, and back squeezed at the bicep position. So at full speed, we'll go slow one more time. Elbow goes up as high as it'll go, externally rotates, arm extends, swoops around and squeeze. So when I'm teaching this, I say up, out, extend, swoop, and squeeze. So at full speed, we're looking like this. Okay. And two teaching points where I'm finding it difficult for kids to get this right. A, I don't want them going behind their body, so I tell them to stare down their shoulder, and they'll see that it's directly outside or a little bit in front of their body. That's fine. Also, when they swoop around, they tend to come back in here, 90-degree angle, which we don't want. We want to come in nice and tight to the body. So that's the Gait Swing. That's the first one we do. That's the first of the three Indian clubs to get the arm mobilized a little bit, get some blood in there. So the second one, we're going to go into the landing position from when you throw. So depending if you're righty lefty, foot at 11 or 1 o'clock. We're going to start up here, about 90 degrees to the backside, firm front side, whether you're a chicken wing or an extended guy, I don't care, as long as you're staring down that arm. So right here we call these decels. Again, we're just decelerating the club, so we're swinging through our mechanics, swirling back, and swirling back to starting position. Then we'll reset, swing, swirl, swirl, and come back. So what I like about this is a couple things. Number one, we're getting rotator cuff deceleration work, and we're also getting some concentric work, bringing it back up in the reverse throw. So that's what I like about it from a sort of a muscular standpoint. From a mechanical standpoint, this is reinforcing with me the leg extension of the arm that I want, the late pronation, not pronation, internal rotation. So when I'm here, first movement for a lot of kids is to go out, and they cast, and they drag, and then you have a very inconsistent grouping of your pitches. So not to mention that you lose this external rotation and subsequent internal rotation earlier. So when you cast out here, your arm straightens earlier, then you have the pie throw thing going on, and you lose a lot of velocity that way. The fastest human movement is shoulder internal rotation, so you want to keep that as long as possible. So with the club, it's much easier to feel, boom, I go out here, because the torque on your arm, you feel that stretch come through your bicep. It's pretty significant if you cast out early. So from here, again, chicken wing or extended, doesn't matter. Here, I'm driving my chest towards my target, keeping this 90-degree late, finishing out, fluidly following through, and then swirling to come back up. And again, teaching points with this, We want a lot of extension. We want to rotate through, pivot on this front foot, and nice long fluid finish. Okay, so that's the second one, decels. Number 3, the final one, we're gonna square up. I learned these from, I just watched a Louis Simmons West Side Barbell video, so they're going out to him. He's just doing this for shoulder mobility. I call them forward tornadoes. I don't remember what he called them in the video. Sometimes I make up names just to make it a little easier, a little simpler on my kids, rather than, naming everything the literal, like thoracic mobility drill or horizontal adduction. We try to give a different name so they can understand a little bit better. So anyway, with the forward tornado, we're squared up to our target. We're going back, palm is gonna turn up. We're gonna rotate over the head, come horizontally with the club, really reaching, thumb down, teaching pronation. And again, that late extension of the arm, swooping down and back. So boom, boom, just like that. And none of these, we're not doing any of these high speed. They're low speed, getting some extension. Again, this is a pretty natural, pretty realistic way that you're gonna follow through. Obviously everyone pronates. We want that long, fluid arm. And this is kind of helping limber up some shoulders while teaching pronation to some kids who might be inconsistent, getting around the ball and cutting it, and so forth. So it's a little more in-depth than I was going to do, but that's what I'm teaching right now with Indian clubs. Really liking them so far. Read my little write-up that's going to be attached to this on my website about the pros and cons that a weighted implement could have on a biomechanical movement, such as throwing. That's about it.